Got it.
Hey, and welcome back to another episode of the Girl Boss Method podcast, hosted by myself, Richu. Now, today we've got a special guest, and her name is Moneice Lemard. And Moneice is a content creator, a fashion model, and just an all-round entrepreneur. So, Moneice, can I get you to introduce yourself? Tell us what you do now.
Hi guys. Wow, it's a great introduction. I would say I'm an all-round entrepreneur, slash CEO, full-time worker, self-employed worker, yeah, everything. So, wow, there's a lot of things to list. So I still do some sort of graphic design, logo design, editing, documents and things like that. Foot modeling, so creating content for shoe brands. I teach gymnastics, and I've just started up doing some private gymnastics PT work for kids. So yeah, I'm a busy girl.
You are definitely a busy girl. And it's really interesting when you said graphic designing, you actually made one of the first logos for my sister business. So for those of you that have been listening and joining me on this podcast journey, you will have known that I also run an in-person Pilates and sports massage business as well. So Moneice made one of my first logos, which was amazing. And Moneice and I have actually got quite a bit of history. So this is not the first time we're connecting. We've known each other for possibly like 10 years now.
Yeah, 10 years, yeah.
Wow. So Moneice and I, we both worked together at the same gymnastics company like many years ago. I'd since moved on. And Moneice, you're still sort of involved with the club as well. So yeah, I kind of wanted to get you on board here today because I wanted to like understand a little bit more about what you do, and we wanted to talk about how your growth in the last few years has occurred with, you know, business and that sort of entrepreneurial mindset, and how, you know, you've massively increased your confidence, just like the way that you show up in terms of your like lifestyle as well. I'm really intrigued by it all. So
Crazy bipolar life. Everyone's intrigued. It's so funny. Everyone's like, you live 2 lives. I live like 4. I live 4.
I know, I love that. You know what? Similarly, I'd probably say exactly the same as well. But the first question I wanted to ask you was, can you share your journey from like, how did you get into content creating and how did you get into foot modeling? Because that's just so niche.
So I'm a very social girl. So I have quite a lot of friends. And I would say I took pictures on Instagram, just like normal pictures. But it mainly started when I met my best friend Diana.
Yeah.
So you guys don't know, her name is Myself Dia on Instagram. She does a lot of content for a few like lingerie brands, bikini brands, and things like that. But when I started taking like photos seriously, or like taking photos of people and taking photos of myself seriously, is when we became best friends. We met at my goddaughter's baby shower. So before she was even born, we met there. And we were basically just having this massive debate because there was a few boys invited to the baby shower. And she had an opinion that I agreed with. And it's not often you meet girls that are so like hard-headed, strong and confident. And I literally gravitated towards her, and it was kind of like 2 against all the boys. I can't even remember what the discussion was, but it was getting heated. And then we were like, no. And they were like, yeah. We were like, no. And then we just became best friends. Literally from that day, we've been best friends. So then obviously started spending time with each other, and she got a lot of promo from brands as like Fashion Nova, a lot of businesses that were starting up. So she needed a lot of help taking her photos because she couldn't take everything herself. Yeah. So we would just take it on like going out. Like if we were going out to eat, I'll take a photo of her, she'll tag the brand, it would do really well. And she'd be like, oh, can you do it again? Can you take it like this? Can you take it like that? And then it was kind of like a thing, like you scratch my back, I scratch yours. So then I was like, you should start taking pictures as well. So she would take mine, and then they became somewhat popular. But the whole foot modeling and working for a brand was in lockdown. And it's the most bizarre thing. So obviously in lockdown, everyone went through the most dark time.
Yeah.
Was stressed. Everyone was thinking about money. And at the time, obviously, my parents had split up. So I was really stressed about money because I had to take on a massive responsibility of helping my mum. I was really stressed out. And then obviously, because I work for a charity, we wasn't sure if we would still get paid, if the money was going to get cut off. I had no idea. I had no idea what a pandemic was. So luckily enough, I was put on furlough. So I was able to make some sort of income during lockdown. But the only thing I could rely on is social media, because that's the only thing we were allowed to do. So literally taking videos and pictures and uploaded them and hoping for the best. So I started to spend more time on my creativity, do loads of hair tutorials, makeup tutorials, and any chance I could, when we were allowed to go for our 2-hour walk, I was using that as my opportunity to take pictures.
Wow. So outdoors.
Yeah. So I would literally right, Mum, I've got an outfit. I want to take a picture in it. I'm going to quickly do my hair and makeup. Let's just walk around Richmond Park now that it's summery, and take a picture of me in my new sports gear. So she'll take a picture in that. And then I'll take pictures loads of different places. At the time, car parks were really popular. I don't know if you guys were paying attention to the type of popular feeds that everyone was uploading, but car parks were really popular because there was no one there. So it was the whole gray and white aesthetic came into Instagram. So I was taking a lot of those type of photos, and I always made sure I tagged the brands that I was wearing. And then I tagged a lot of heels because I have a lot of heels. I'm very girly, even though I'm very active and sporty. I'm very girly as well. And literally, Simi Shu messaged me on Instagram. And they were like, "Hey, have you ever thought of foot modeling?" Obviously, I was I didn't even know that was a job. I was
random.
I was foot modeling. Literally looked at the side, and I was like, "What?" But because they had the verified blue tick, I was like, "Okay, this is obviously a proper business reaching out to me." So I replied, and I was like, "Never thought of it, but I'd be interested." And I was like, "Okay, cool. Just send us some photos and videos of your feet." Again, I was like, what the hell are you even talking about? So I went on their page, and then I saw that they're very playful with their marketing. They put, I don't know, it might be what's your autumnal shoe? And they'll put boots, heels, stilettos, and let's say a cozy sandal, and it'll be a girl jumping up and down, and every time she lands she changes shoe. So I just created that video and sent it to them. So I just sent loads of videos of me walking in heels, taking pictures of my shoes in the mirror, and they were like, "Amazing, we love your feet, can you come in?" So I went in. I know, I was just like, "Oh my god, this is crazy."
Was this London based?
So it was based in near Walthamstow.
Okay, yeah.
Walthamstow. And it's so crazy because my mum bought me a book. As soon as I found out there was a pandemic, she bought me a notebook from Tesco's because I was stressed. I was literally crying. I was like, "I need to make money. I need to help you. I need to help myself. This was the year I wanted to move out. What am I going to do?" And she was like, "Buy your notebook. You need to write a 3-year plan based around lockdown, because we don't know how long we're in it for. So you need to start designing some online courses for graphics." Because obviously I was heavily graphics based around that time.
Yeah.
I just wrote out all my dreams. I want to work for a brand on social media. I want to do this. I want to do that. I want to do this. And one of them was obviously work for a brand. And then literally a couple of weeks later,
and it happened.
Yeah. But I didn't know it was going to be foot modeling. I had no idea. I thought it was going to be something else. I thought I was going to design a logo for a clothing line. I had no idea it was going to be foot modeling.
Wow.
So I went there, and then I got on with the girls. Obviously, it's me. I'm so funny when I don't mean to be funny, but I'm a funny person. I'm a bit dramatic. So all the girls love me, and they just love the fact that we just got on, we laughed and done our work really fast. And they were like, "We need you. Can you come in?" So because it was me and another girl that were modeling, it was fine to work there in lockdown. So I was going there.
Yeah.
I think it was twice a week. So I was going there on the days that I wouldn't be doing my online videos for the gymnastics club that I was working for.
Yeah.
And then once everyone was allowed out, then I was there more often. And yeah, just.
Wow, that's insane. That's manifestation to a next level.
Yeah.
I want to work for a brand. Okay. Yeah. Now it's all about your feet. And Moneice, I just have to say this. I've seen your feet. They're absolutely stunning. Look at you. Just
No, but you know what's so crazy?
but
Like,
they look so good because you've always been that girl that
yeah,
when I remember, you'd
yeah,
always be in the nail shop.
yeah. It's so
Always
true.
in the nail shop, always getting your nails done, always getting your feet done. And it was like,
But you know, there's a backstory to that. I
okay.
actually got picked on about my feet in school. Like, I want people to know this.
Oh,
I got picked on. I know it sounds crazy, like whoever, if the person hears this, I don't care. But basically, in year 6, obviously girls grow faster than boys. So I was very like, I grew a bum faster than everyone else. I had armpit hairs faster than everyone else. I had acne before everyone else. The only thing I didn't have was my menstrual cycle. So in that sense, I was okay. But I grew before everyone else. So like my foot size, I was a 5.5 in year 6, which isn't massive, but nowadays it's not that massive. But in my day, in year 6, that's big. And the boy that I fancied, he was like a size 3 or size 4. He was short, good at football. He had a smaller foot than me. And I can't remember what happened, but one day, like, we're all standing with each other, and then someone was like, "Oh my God, your foot is big." And I was like, "What?" They're like, "What size are you?" And I was like, "Oh, I'm a 5.5." And then the boy I fancied, he was like, "Oh my God, your foot is massive. Like, I'm a 4."
oh
He was,
no.
I lost my confidence straight away. I was like, my feet are big. I hate my feet. So every time it was like a new school year, and you know, your mum buys you your school shoes, your
Yeah.
uniform. I wanted to oh, I think it's frozen. Oh yeah. Then my
Yes,
mum and dad
Moneice, I
got
was gonna
married, and
say
then I had to wear.
I think we
Did
lost
it
you
freeze?
slightly or lost me. One of the two.
So I'll go back. So
Yeah.
every new school year, when I started like year 7, and my mum had to buy me like school shoes, uniform and stuff, I'd always be upset about buying new shoes, and it might have to be a bigger size, because I remember the boy that said my foot was bigger than everyone else's. So
Mm.
it started off with like, I don't want a big size, to then when it's summer, when you're wearing like flip-flops and stuff, I didn't want to show my feet because I didn't want people to say like they look bigger than other people's. So then when my mum got married in 2007, I think it was, I had to wear like really girly shoes. And then when my mum was getting like her hair done, makeup done, she got her nails done, and she was like, "Right, do you want to get your feet done to make you feel comfortable?"
Amazing.
Yeah. And she was like, "Oh, I read in a magazine. I think it was like, I read in a magazine that darker colors or French tip makes the nails look smaller. So it makes your feet look smaller."
Wow.
I didn't really pay attention to that. I just like French tip, but it looks cleaner. But like, that's where my going to the nail shop started. From year 7, I
Wow.
went to the nail shop all the time because it made me feel good.
I love that. Your mum is an absolute angel. She is. She's so nice.
And now I love my feet, and I don't care about my size, and other people
Yeah.
love my feet. And I'm
And
just
look
like,
how it's paid off.
it's weird, isn't it?
It's crazy. That's just mad. I'm
It's
blown
weird.
away by that. But what a
Yeah.
story. And like you said, I think it's definitely important for you to show that journey. It's not like
Yeah.
you just woke up and
Yeah.
your feet were, you've been
No.
on a foot journey,
Yeah.
literally.
Literally, it's the
Wow.
craziest thing. It's like the most bizarre story. But like, I want
Mm.
people to know that. Like, it didn't come from
Yeah.
me knowing I had nice feet. It came from just looking after myself,
Yeah.
really.
And this kind of with looking after yourself, I wanted to take it to the next question, basically.
Yeah.
But
Yeah.
I've obviously noticed that you've been quite active in the gym, like working out and stuff. And
Yeah.
I guess a lot of it, I wanted to know, how has exercise played a role in building your confidence,
Yeah.
shaping your mindset for
Yeah.
entrepreneurship?
Okay. Firstly, I want to say thank you for your messages on Instagram, because
Oh,
honestly, no, it does push me, because I know like it's not easy to be consistent with the gym. And
yeah,
we had a chat before this, and I think living by myself has obviously helped, because I'm able to just be in that positive, motivated space.
yeah,
And it does depend on your environment. If you're in a bad environment, you're around bad influences, you might live with a family, let's have takeout tonight, you eat bad, you don't want
yeah.
to go to the gym the next day because you've eaten a big meal, or you just feel groggy in the morning. So me moving out was the first step, and then going to the gym changed everything. Now, I think there's a book called 5 a.m. Club.
Yes, yeah.
I haven't read it, but I'm basically like just done the kind of steps myself. So first of all, waking up early.
Yeah.
Going to the gym early in the morning, it just motivated me to carry on with the rest of my day. And it just helped me clear my head. And it would just help me, like, once I knew I was getting to the steps of the physique that I envisioned for myself, I could do anything.
There's motivation in knowing that you're seeing changes as well. Definitely.
Yeah, changes, like, because obviously going to the gym, it affects so many different things. It's like a domino effect. Like, first of all, it helps with your mental health.
Yeah.
Then it helps you with your actual eating, like eating healthy. It helps you motivate other people, and it educates you on your body. Like, literally, I didn't know, like, I always was a fitness girl, but I didn't know, like, what exercises helped with what muscles, what foods helped with what, like, how to build this type of physique. I didn't know all of that stuff until I started taking it seriously. So it helps with your confidence, because, like, you can get yourself involved in different conversations. You're not just speaking about the same things. Now I can talk to the PTs because I know what I'm doing.
I love that.
You know, like, whereas before, when people would say like reps and things like that, I was like, I'm not gonna get involved because I don't really know what I'm doing. Now I'm like, yeah,
I know. Talk to me all day.
Yeah. So like,
I love that.
Yeah. So what was the question? I'm talking
but that was it, really. And it's interesting because you say about learning that you and I have both been involved in gymnastics for years. You don't learn this stuff.
No,
this level is very different.
Yeah, I feel like, okay, so that's a good thing to touch on. When you're a gymnastics coach, if you don't have the dream to be like a PE teacher or a PT, it's on you to find out more information on body flexibility, strength, different physiques and different styles of gymnastics. It's on you to do the research and to train yourself and learn. Because obviously I was a gymnast before, done gymnastics for work experience, done a bit of admin, and then was given the opportunity to be a coach, and then like managed to create a whole career on it. I didn't know I was going to do that. So like, it was then on me to like do my research and learn all the stuff that I need to know to help children develop, to help reduce injuries and help train after injuries. Unless you're a PT or you want to be like a physiotherapist, or you want to be help with like first aid and things like that, you wouldn't know it.
No, definitely.
So like, me going to the gym and taking my gym journey seriously has definitely helped me with teaching children in class.
Love that.
Yeah, so
no, definitely. And that's the thing, like, even for me, although similar journey to you in that I was a gymnast, did work experience coaching gymnastics, had the opportunity to start coaching.
Yeah.
So similar to you as well. But then for me, I've had like a break in that. And I did go off to uni, and I did sports therapy. And I think even prior to that, with the whole gymnastics, it's been like on and off for me. I started working in a health club or gym setting. I did my first like gym instructor qualification, like coming up to like 20 years ago, and it feels crazy saying that, but there's always been on and off for me. So I know when I went abroad and I taught gymnastics in America, one of the reasons why the guy was like up for me joining their camp or being a coach there was he was quite intrigued with the fact that I'd done like some of the gym stuff, and he was like, oh, this is great, you know. And I definitely feel like that helped when we're doing conditioning and stuff for kids as well. So yeah, it definitely similar to you in that sense, like having that experience working in an adult gym and training and lifting weights has helped me as a coach for sure. Definitely.
I feel like for me, I've had like, I wouldn't say it's been harder, but like I've low-key winged it because I didn't train competitively. Like, I didn't do major competitions. All my competitions were in-house. I was a general gymnast. I wasn't in floor and bowl or anything like that. I think if I continued and I had the right training, I would have been really good, because I've got the natural athletic ability to do well, but I wasn't major in my gymnastics career. So, you know, I've had to do a lot of work on becoming a great coach, like researching things, watching videos, and like asking for help, and having the good, like really good mentors to help me like knowledgeable in that area.
But I
And
think there's,
area as
sorry.
well.
I
No,
was
no,
going to say, I think there's actually a benefit not being competitive in a
yeah,
sense that
totally.
the children
Yeah,
that you coach, you kind of get, there's more, you know, there's more involved in trying to understand the complications of a skill as well and how to teach it. Whereas if something's always come naturally to you, you've got
yeah,
nothing to
you just don't
teach.
understand why. Yeah, yeah,
And
yeah.
it's interesting because, like, hey, I wasn't an elite gymnast either, Moneice, like, definitely not. And I feel like for us, and maybe in our time growing up, being women of color, it just wasn't an opportunity that coaches definitely didn't take you seriously as well in that. And I think when I started coaching for a club, I had like a head coach, if you like, that was a woman of color, and she had she was white, English, and Jamaican, and but also had a daughter who was part Pakistani. So again, she kind of had like a bit of a worldly view on being various, you know, sort of involved in understanding how different ethnic backgrounds do in sport as well, and also how they're perceived, you know. And I think a lot of the time, definitely when I was younger as well, you're not taken seriously because they think that your parents aren't going to understand, or you're not going to be encouraged to do sport, and are you really going to be committed? So I think that definitely had a part to play. And I think having role models or women of color in your life as coaches, I think that's hugely important. And I think, I don't know if you've noticed, but maybe you have now, but who you are as a coach to children coming up, because we live in such a multicultural society now, that you are a huge role model for those children. Like, I think that's just incredible.
I do feel it. I definitely feel it. I feel like when I was younger being a gymnast, I wouldn't say I had a role model like myself. However, I'm very blessed to have knowledgeable coaches. So they were obviously predominantly white coaches, but I can't point my toes. Okay. I really struggle to point my toes. And luckily I had a coach that said, well, you know, for your ethnic background, you have quite flat feet, and it's natural for you to have flat feet. So don't worry about pointing your toes. I'm going to help you. And that's what we're going to work on. And we're going to work on your flexibility, because you're naturally a bit stiffer than the average British person. So even though I didn't have the role model, at least I had someone educated and sensitive so that I felt confident. And then I didn't think all the time like, oh my God, my feet look flat, blah, 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 blah. I knew I had someone I could go to if I wanted to. Can I spend 5 minutes on just working on my feet? But aside from that, being the coach now, I definitely feel the effects of me being a role model for the younger Black children, and children just of different ethnicities, you know, like even teaching preschool, we have twins on a Thursday, 2 Black girls, and literally they look at me like I'm their mum.
Oh, that's so cute.
Like, straight away. But also my tone, the way I speak, like I kind of try to inject the discipline that I have, so they know, you know, you can't mess around here. You got to be serious, take this seriously. Because sometimes when they have other coaches speaking to them, they kind of just be silly. They're like, very, and I have to just be like, no, right, listen now. And they actually take it seriously. So like that does help with their education, because if they don't see someone like they have at home, they may not take it seriously and just waste a lot of time.
Yeah.
So the fact that there's someone that gives the same discipline that they have at home does help them focus, and does help them with their gymnastics career, or just in general, like joining them with the lesson and having the confidence to just be free in the lesson. But yeah, no, yeah, it is a major task, actually. I feel like it's hard because obviously we are a minority, and I feel like even with teaching the kids for competitions, for instance, like I recently had a class that it's called a prep class that I've introduced, and basically we just focus on competition stuff. But I also created a prep pack where it has like photos of hairstyles that you should have when you're competing, how you should dress for the competition, it has like questions and answers like what do the judges look for, how to stand on a podium, like it literally fully prepares you.
Amazing. I love that.
Yeah, and I've done like videos as well, so like you can click the link to the YouTube and you see the videos of the gymnasts competing, like how you should do it. So you just copy the video, but this is only for people that want the additional help.
Yeah.
Obviously that it costs, but the options there. And a black girl did say to me, she was like, how should I have my hair, because her hair's in dreads? And I was like, so I didn't expect that question, but I had to answer it in a way where, one, I don't make her stand out from the crowd, because you know what children are like, they're very intrigued. Once they realize someone's different, they want to know all about it. So I didn't want her to stand out too much to the point where everyone was asking her questions and then she felt, you know, overwhelmed with the questions.
Or singled out as well.
Yeah, but I also wanted to give her options. So I didn't want her to feel like, you know, your hair's already in a style that you can't really manipulate that much. But I wanted her to feel comfortable. So she felt like everyone else, like, yeah, you could try and put it in a bun, make sure you put it down or put it in a clip, or, you know, have half up, half down. If you're doing a backward roll, you don't want it to hurt your head, you know. So that's when I realized, whoa, like I actually need to like
consider these things as well.
because, you know, they are going to ask these questions and they are going to be in situations where it's not comfortable for them compared to other people. So
yeah,
big role.
Yeah, no, I love it. And it's actually really interesting how, you're also just talking about the content comes back into it as well, and how you're making things very, unfortunately, gymnastics, I feel like this podcast is almost like falling into gymnastics, but gymnastics can be quite archaic in terms of the sport's obviously very old, and, you know, some of the things that we do, they're not, and the way we coach as well, we're taught to coach, they weren't always backed by science. I feel like a lot of the time things were just done because they were done. But it's just really nice to also see that you've moved, and as an entrepreneur with that mindset as well, you've allowed things to move into modern times where people they do want to click on links. They want to click on links. They want to watch videos. They want to see it done. They want to be able to access that content. And I think that's so important in terms of where we are now, and also keeping you know, the things moving for the sport and the club that you work at. Well, so kind of moving. Sorry.
Sorry, back to content. Like when we're taking videos and stuff, like, you know, like we have hairs on our legs, for instance, and people with like darker skin, they have like darker pores. So there was a stage where I had like strawberry legs. Does everyone know what that means? I don't know if everyone knows.
I know what you mean.
Basically, we would have to use makeup on our legs to cover those marks, because we're always shaving our legs to make sure they're smooth. So like sometimes when you shave them too often, it's not a clean shave. So you can see like stubble on our legs. And there was a stage where my manager, she was like, we're going to have to like double edit the video or double smooth the video, or you're going to have to start using like leg makeup because we can see the pores in your legs. Yeah, I wanted to quickly say this. And it did make me feel some type of way, because I just felt like, you know, I'm not getting paid to wax or laser. So this is what I come with, you know, like there's going to be a few stubbling bits on my legs, as well as the other person that I was modeling with. But I felt like for me, obviously it stood out a little bit more than the others because I have darker hair on my legs. So there was a stage where I did feel a little bit deflated, but in the end, I just thought, you know what, I am representing for my shade, and I just got to roll with it. I need to flaunt it so that other people feel confident as well, because there's people that have worse situations, you know, so I have to just keep going. But I wanted to say that.
Okay, cool. No, I definitely appreciate that. I feel like that's like a whole nother conversation.
Yeah, we'll touch base on that again at some point.
Yeah, no, of course, definitely. So in terms of like coming back to like fitness and schedule and things like that, you've kind of touched on it already, actually, with saying that you feel like getting up for the day sets you up. If you know, like you were saying about the 5 a.m. club, getting up, having water, having a morning routine, getting out, going to the gym, you know, focusing on all of that. But do you feel like there's Oh gosh, where are we going with this? I feel like you've answered so many of these questions.
Oh, sorry.
No, it's fine. Yeah. Look at me just thinking. This
Let me
is
go.
just
I'll go to one.
so natural. What advice do you have for women who want to start their
Okay.
own, let's say their own lifestyle? They want to have that entrepreneurial career. They want to start their own business, for example, but they're hesitant in terms of like self-doubt and lack of confidence. So just in terms of moving in the spaces that you move,
Yeah.
what advice do you offer?
First things first, I would write down all the things you're good at, because that's a positive in the whole. You know, you're going to be confident in things that you're good at. You don't want to start something that you have no knowledge on. So I would write down a list of things, whether it's baking, whether it's makeup,
Yeah,
doing PT work, singing, anything. Write down all the things you're good at and then look for a gap in the market. So let's say, I don't know, baking, for instance, you're good at baking desserts, and a gap in the market might be that I don't know, you want to be like an in-house chef. So you want to go to people's houses on their birthdays and create like a dinner party for someone, but like a dessert party, let's just say. It's just a random idea.
Oh, amazing.
I don't know anyone that does that now. Like, I don't know anyone that will come to my house and like set everything up and cook for me. Oh my God, I need to get my charger for my laptop. Should I just quickly run and grab it?
Yeah, go on then.
Oh.
Yeah. So yeah, for those of you that are listening, actually, yeah, Moneice has just popped off to get a charger. So, Moneice, we actually do release this on YouTube as a video.
Okay. Okay.
Love to just keep it real with you just running off to the room to get your charger.
That's fine.
But yeah, we also have it on Spotify as an audio as well for people to listen to as well.
Yeah.
Yeah. Anyway.
Okay. So that's what I was saying.
Yes.
Find a space in the market and then have a team. So like, not a team that works for you, just people that you can bounce your ideas off. You need different opinions, and that will give you the confidence, because if you have one opinion and then you go out and start your business and then everyone's giving you backlash, like, you have to be able to take constructive criticism. So if you have like someone like your mom who might be very judgmental, have the target audience, so someone that's part of your target audience, as a critique as well. So like, let's say you want to do it, your target audience is like young mums, let's say, because they don't really get to go out because they're always in the house. So you'll need someone to go to the house to cook the food and host for you, whatever. You need someone like that to give their opinion as well, because obviously they're the ones spending their money booking you. So you need to know prices and things like that. So yeah, first things first, write all the things you're good at, have people you can speak to bounce ideas off, and never give up. Never give up. If the idea doesn't work, start another idea, because as you can see, I do so many different things. I went from babysitting to logo designing to teaching gymnastics to foot modeling, which is completely different.
Same.
A range of other things that I do on the outside, like PA work, helping people move into their flats, and like interior designing and things like that. Like, I do a whole load. I even done like meal preps for someone like he was basically
excuse me,
he had a boxing match and he has a set diet.
Yeah.
This is someone that I was seeing, so he knew I could cook, but he needed someone he trusted to make like a certain amount of like macros and all of that stuff.
Oh, amazing.
As well. Yeah. So he literally was just like, I know we're not in that space anymore. Don't see each other, but I trust you with your cooking and I know you'll do it for me. This is the diet plan that I have. I need 6 weeks worth of this food. And literally, like, I done it, put the food in an Uber, sent it to him, he sent me the money. So to be honest, that is another business I could have started, but like,
100%.
It's just something that like, cooking is something I love doing, and I love catering for someone, but I don't know if I would want to do it for money, because that kind of takes the fun out of it, and then you're more stressed. So like, that was nothing I want to do, but like, that's a business plan for someone else out there, so take the ideas.
Hey, exactly.
But yeah, like, never give up, because at the end of the day, there is money, and you know, you just got to keep trying.
I absolutely love your mindset, Moneice. Like, this has just been such a long time coming, actually, for us to even just have a catch up. And yeah, no, I'm definitely learning loads from you as well. And yeah, I think one of the things you touched on about having a community almost. So if you are starting something that's going to be challenging, having that network of people, it's so important to have them around you.
Yeah.
And it's also understanding, I guess my point for you would be like understanding who's going to be good for you as well. Like, are they going to be the right people that are going to, like, critiquing is fine, but people that are actually going to support you on that journey. So it's so important to
you have
be
to
surrounded by.
But also I would say you have to do it at a time where you're ready to take the criticism. If you're already in a bad mood and then you're like, oh, I have this good idea, let me ask someone else that's quite judgmental, and then they say something that you might take negative. It might not be a negative thing that they're saying, but you're taking it negative because you're not ready to receive that information. You need to be open-minded when you ask these questions, because at the end of the day, like, the customer's always right. So whether it's a valid point that the person's making or not, take it into consideration, because that situation could come up at any point. Like, for instance, my mum could say, you know, what if you're making food that's got seafood in it and they're one person's allergic, but I like making prawns and I think prawns is my best dish. You can't just say, well, anyway, they have to eat it, because one day you are going to have to cater for someone that's allergic to it. Do you know what I mean? So like, take it into consideration. You might not like what you're hearing, but write it down. And over time, try and figure out how to solve that issue. So when it does come, you're prepared.
Yeah, no, definitely. Really good advice there as well. Yeah, that problem solving, and also having the ability to be flexible as well in what you do as well. I think that's massively important. So when we're thinking about you as an individual, do you feel like on your journey, was there a significant role that exercise played when it came to your success and your personal growth, basically?
Yes, definitely. I think definitely through lockdown. I know this is such like a time that everyone refers to, and it's annoying. It's kind of like,
that's cliche. It's like, we're back in lockdown.
It's so cliche. I can pinpoint like different points in my life, but I would say that point especially because that's when I started doing my private gymnastic lessons. Like, kids had nothing to do. They had nowhere to go. So like, for children that live in a house that hasn't got a garden, they live in a 1-bedroom flat, and we were allowed to go out for the 1 hour of exercise or 2 hours of exercise that the government decided to give us. Some kids were like jumping on their trampoline in the garden. They had a little paddling pool, and then others were in like an estate on the balcony looking at the window, like, so like that had a big part to play, because I was then able to, anyone I was in a bubble with, I was either able to like go and see them, or I was able to do something on Zoom, and they had the space to do the stuff in their own homes. But also for my family, like, my mum was like, oh, I'm just eating, I'm staying in the house, I'm not doing anything. Like, we need to start doing workouts together. So we all decided to do like a workout in the garden. It was like PT. I was like teaching everyone, right, you're in that station, you're doing setups, you're doing.
I love it.
Yeah, and like, it was good. Like, it didn't last long. It changed into us like doing what everyone else was doing, like baking banana loaf and like doing come dine with me and all that stuff to keep us entertained. But I definitely say in lockdown, like, I was then able to really show my expertise in fitness and become more confident in myself in like teaching other people. Other people change their body and like feel good about themselves.
But do you feel like also, is that when you started exercising more for yourself?
Yeah, 100%.
And then like learning more about your body and
also looking back on the photos from lockdown at how I looked and how unhealthy I looked. At the time, I thought I was healthy. I thought I was making like all these great salads and I was learning new things, but I was eating too much. I wasn't doing enough exercise for the amount I was eating because I wasn't going anywhere. So now looking back to that time, I'm like, I don't want to look like that again. So it definitely has pushed me now to like do more. And not get into that state where I'm just sitting down doing nothing.
Of course. And do you find that like actually having that fitness routine sort of helps you, I don't know, manage other life challenges, and sort of maintaining that work-life balance? Because from what I see with you is a lot of work.
Mm-hmm.
Do you find that fitness is like an outlet for you to do something for yourself and almost like give back to your body?
Yeah, I do. I definitely do. I think for me, obviously work is like a hobby for me. So like as much as I work 24/7, like there's something I enjoy. It is my hobby. So I don't get bored of it. But because I do so much and I do so many different things, I am a very anxious person and I do get overwhelmed. So for me to be able to wake up early and get fitness out of the way and release those endorphins, able to face the fears that I have day to day, like even just like, let's say I have a complaint email from work and I'm really anxious and I don't know how to respond to it. Once I've gone to the gym and I've cleared my head, I can answer that question. I feel like I can take over anything and, you know, do all the anxious things that I have on my plate, I can get rid of once I've gone to the gym.
Have you been to the gym today?
I haven't gone to the gym yet, but I will go after.
Yeah, no, that's fine. It's still pretty, the day is young.
Yeah, I felt like I wanted to go this morning. I didn't wake up early enough and I want to do a good session. So I didn't want to like then be late for this. So I'll go after.
Okay. No, fair enough. Especially because I know that your Fridays are a bit more flexible, aren't they? They're your kind of your day for like doing a bit more for you.
Yeah.
So when we're thinking about other women in business or, you know, entrepreneurial women or women that just want to start up that side hustle, and, you know, how do you feel like fitness can empower women to achieve their goals and dreams?
That's a good question, you know.
Mm.
How can fitness help achieve goals and dreams? I would say it helps with building a community and meeting new friends.
Mm-hmm.
And, you know, people always say it's not who you know, it's not what you know, it's who you know.
Yeah.
And I feel like being able to meet people that have the same, like you have something in common. So like whether you're a curvy woman, whether you're a petite woman, whether you're you've just had a baby, so you have like a postpartum kind of like figure or body, you've got something in common, which is fitness. And those 5 different examples I gave, whether it's 4 or 5, I can't remember how many I just gave, but like those 5 people do different things. So it could be someone that's like in law, it could be someone that's in fashion, like once you have that thing in common, it helps you communicate and like network. And I feel like fitness is always a good place to network and like meet new people, and that can help you with your confidence in starting a business, anything. Like I met a therapist and she was asking me what I do, and I told her, and she was like, well, do you have like a business card or do you have a flyer? And I was like, no, like, I get my business through word of mouth. Like luckily for me, I'm so blessed that like everyone loves talking about me, and like I have such an infectious like personality. Like, I always come up in conversation, so it's easy for me to get business because people are always like, oh, do you know Moneice? She does this. Oh, she's great. Let me give you her number. So luckily for me, I haven't had to do any advertisement at all for my personal stuff, but she did motivate me on making a flyer and making like at least a schedule of my availability so that I can get business quicker. So she showed me her stuff and it inspired me. I made a flyer in the summer of like all my availabilities. I sent it out to a few mums that I knew. They sent it out and I was booked up the whole summer.
That's
every
amazing.
day of my life I was working. And that's just by meeting someone in the gym who does something completely different, talking, and like literally I think she asked me like, oh, like can you video me, because I was videoing myself. So that's another thing, was I was videoing myself doing squats because I wanted to see my form because my back was hurting. And then she was like, oh, do you mind videoing me as well? So I videoed her and I was like, oh my God, by the way, you look great. And I was like, oh, what do you do? And she said she'd done therapy. She showed me her stuff. Then I was like, oh my God, I need to make a flyer because everyone's asking me my availability, but I don't have time to text them back because I'm so busy. Then I done it and then helped me get business. So yeah, I think like definitely networking. It definitely helps with networking and like encouraging you to be confident and just speaking out and like teaching you how to how to explain what you do as well. It's a place where you're going to constantly be asked the same question. The first thing is, oh, what are you working on? And then it's, what do you do?
What do
So
you
it's
do?
a great place to kind of like rehearse what you do and like market yourself, I would say.
Okay, that's good. That's definitely interesting as well. So yeah, I think being involved in fitness, I feel like you're gonna meet people with a similar mindset, a similar like growth mindset as well. So I think if you start taking care of your body, you take care of your appearance as well, you start looking after yourself, that you're going to show up differently around other women as well. And I think you've explained it quite well as well. Already people, they name drop, they talk about what you do. And I think a lot of that definitely comes down to your image as well. Like
100%. I haven't even talked about image.
But I think it goes a long way, you know, and doing fitness, you know, maintaining that healthy relationship with, you know, with nutrition, giving back to your body, staying strong, staying fit, staying mobile, helping you with your mindset. All these things are a picture of who you are as well.
And first impressions always count.
Pardon?
First impressions always count.
So. Oh, definitely. And you know, we only take it back to those people that feel like fitness is only there when they want to get to a certain goal. It should really form a part of your lifestyle. It's going to take you, you know, we haven't even touched on this, but it's just going to take you so much further if it's something that stays in your life, you know, as you age and as you get older and as your career develops as well, you know. So yeah, is there anything else that you kind of wanted to touch on? I mean, where do we feel like, you know, where is Moneice going to be in 2024? What does the future look like for you?
I'm not gonna say too much just because I feel like I don't want to jinx things. But I think definitely in a more positive headspace. I think obviously moving out, living by myself and like having a full-time job and having to commute and like be independent was a lot for me this year. So like there's a lot of pressure on, like, it's not pressure that people have put on me, but it's pressure that I have on myself because I have high expectations for myself and I just want everything to be smooth. So I think I was very stressed out this year and I don't want to be stressed out next year. I feel like hopefully I could be a little bit more positive and like get back to the old like fun side of myself because, you know, I do like to go out as well. And I've definitely cut that out to focus more on like business and work. I think a little bit more freelance work would be great.
Yeah.
Hopefully taking dating seriously.
Nice.
Yeah, because I haven't done that. I've just completely blocked out men.
You've almost been doing the groundwork this year and like focusing on almost like preparing and setting yourself up for the future.
Yeah, like I kind of like sowed the seeds this year. Next year I just want to water everything.
Yeah.
See the fruits grow.
Yeah. Amazing. Moneice, where can everyone find you if anyone wants to reach out and like talk to you or connect, maybe get some more, I don't know, some more inspiring or motivational business ideas? Where can they find you?
You can find me on Instagram at Moneice Lemard, and you can find me on TikTok at Moneice.Lemard. So there's a full stop in between.
Excellent. I'm yet to open up the doors of TikTok. I downloaded the app. This is horrendous, right? So for someone who's, you know, like I'm quite active on Instagram actually. YouTube has started. We've got the podcast. TikTok is the next thing. And I think maybe because I've never been a consumer of TikTok, I don't really understand how to play. So look out for that one.
Yeah, TikTok.
I might even be asking you, Moneice, for a bit of help on that. And
I think TikTok is brilliant. Honestly, it's like, obviously we're type of people that talk a lot. So YouTube is great for us. But TikTok is like short and sweet, get to the point. I use TikTok for everything.
Okay. All right. Keep your eyes peeled.
I'll send you loads of videos once you're ready.
All right. Perfect. No, I don't appreciate that. For those of you that have been listening and you've made it this far, thank you so much. we've had Moneice Lemard on the show today. On the show, this is the Girl Boss Method podcast. I've been your host, Richu Bra, and you can find me on Instagram. Send me a DM at Richu Bra. That's all one word. I'll spell it out for you. RICHUBRAR. And we'll see you here next time.
Oh, thank you for having me.
Thank you for coming on board. Bye.
Bye.